Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, we are talking about Snake Eyes and Salamangreat. So, notably, Salamangreat is a kind of lackluster deck at the moment. It kind of has lost a lot in terms of where it was, which was the best deck, to where it is now, where it's pretty kind of mid. But with the help of Snake Eyes, can it come back into the meta? And honestly, this deck has done pretty well for me. It's not insane, but it is a pretty decent alternative to pure Salamangreat. And I'm sure many of you have already tried to pull for the Bellstar stuff or the Snake Eyes stuff, so you might already have this if you're already playing Salamangreat. And honestly, having additional fires is very, very nice. So this is the list that I came up with, and yeah, let's just quickly go through the card by card and the explanation. Starting off with the Snake Eyes engine, we're playing 2 Ash, we're playing 2 Poplar, we're playing the 1 Diabellstar Black Witch, the 1 Flamberg, the 1 Original Sins, and of course 3 Wanted. That's basically it. Pretty standard in terms of an engine. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't feel like I need to explain these cards or the quantity there. The only reason we're not playing 3 Ash is because I felt like I wanted to play a clean 40, and this felt like the best option. In fact, we're only playing 1 Jaguar. However, in terms of Salamangreats, we are playing 1 Mole because it can be utilized with things like Ash or with things like the Original Sin in order to get you into like Salamangreats, which can come up and is pretty nice to have. It's not insane, but it does also have the ability to special summon itself. During your main phase, if you link summon to this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone a link monster points to. So this means that if you were to have this in hand, or if you were to search it or something like that, you can go into Link Karibo, or even Baylinks, or anything like that, and then this guy can special summon itself to that link zone, which is pretty nice, and does come up a fair amount. Next up, we have ourselves the 2 Foxy. We're only playing 2 because we have a bunch of other normal summons that are also useful. Things like the Gazelle or the Ash or the Poplar. So we're only playing 2 Foxy there. We're playing 3 Gazelle and 3 Spinny. Pretty standard. We're also playing 1 Falco and 1 Jaguar. Yeah, normally I like playing 2 Jaguar at the very least. It is pretty useful. It's even a decently good normal summon because it by itself can technically get you into Baylinks into another guy, and then into like Splash Mage by special summoning back the Jaguar. So at the very least, you can end on something like a Heat Soul, which is something if your hand is all non-engine otherwise, right? So there's that. But it's only a one of here, just because we have so many other cards that we want to play. Of course, we're playing the 1 Sanctuary. We're also playing 3 Circle. Circle is very, very good, specifically because of the fact that you can play around Droll. Just activate this during the draw phase. Now your Droll, now the opponent's Droll basically doesn't do anything. It's only going to be, it's going to interact with like your Snake Eyes engine maybe a little. But the thing is, you can also activate Wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils during the draw phase as well, which is very, very useful. So there's that. Then we're playing 1 Rage and 1 Roar as well. I really wanted a 40-card clean list, so we're not playing a whole bunch of other random cards in here. However, we are playing a lot of non-engine, which is one of the benefits to this. So we're playing triple Maxi, triple Ash Blossom, 2 Nibiru, and triple Imperm, as well as 2 Called By. And yeah, I think that's where this deck tends to shine. Just having access to multiple hand traps and having access to that full combo is where I would say that this is good, or one of the better decks, right? So all in all, pretty good. As for the extra deck, we only are playing 1 Mirage Stallion, and that's the only Xyz that we are playing. The rest are Link monsters, because we can facilitate a lot of Link material due to the new Snake Eyes cards, giving us just an insane amount of material. So we have ourselves the 1 Link Karibo. We have ourselves 2 Salamangreat Baylinks and 2 Sunlight Wolf, and that is the only multi-copy Salamangreat or just multi-copy cards in the extra. The rest are one-ofs. So yeah, 2 Baylinks, 2 Sunlight Wolf, just for the Sanctuary shenanigans and stuff like that. We're playing 1 Lingaribo. This card's okay. It's not the greatest, but I did feel like there wasn't really like a better option in this slot. It's very useful for being able to like stop something that like is a known imperm, or like a blackout, or I played against a bunch of short soul today, so that's why. Or anything that's like a known trap that you can interact with. And if you have like the Snake Eyes half of your engine on top of the like normal summon a Salamangreat or something like that, then this is a pretty decent option. We're of course playing the Update Jammer access code. We can still make it, so why not? We're then of course playing a 1 Hita. Hita has come up so many times. If the opponent Ash Blossoms you, you now get to make Promethean Princess with any 2 monsters, and it's absolutely insane. So it's very, very strong there. We are playing a 1 Splash Mage as well as a 1 Heat Soul, so that we can use the Splash Mage to go into the Heat Soul. You would also utilize Splash Mage to go into like Update Jammer into access code there as well, so that's an option. I am playing 1 Heat Leo. I was originally playing Transcode Talker. I feel like Heat Leo is just better. It's another fire name, which is actually, or a fire type, which is actually just better because it's something you can go into off of Promethean Princess. It's a Salamangreat Link monster for things like Roar, and it has the ability to spin away a back row, which isn't too big of a deal, but it's something it can like force out interaction, or it can like spin away something like a trap that may not be activatable or may not be a good activation right now. So it's fairly decent, and I feel like Transcode just never came up. The only time that Transcode would come up is like to go Splash Mage into Transcode into access code, but I felt like that was never really going to be an option, because at that point I'd probably just try and go into Update Jammer, or at least it would be a better option to try and like do that, right? We're playing obviously the Promethean Princess and Ambler Whale since we're playing fires, and that's it for the deck. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performed. Alright, so here we are going second, and we drew Maxi. Maybe we have something here. The rest of our hand is kind of silly. My opponent is going to start with Supreme Sea Mare, which is going to send Havness to the graveyard. I'm going to activate my Maxi and see if it resolves. It does. Fantastic. Alright, so my opponent is going to maybe do some things here. They go for the Rhino Heart here into the Kit Kalos. The Kit Kalos is going to send the Tier Cash, and then they're going to activate the effect of the Perla Rhino. Perla Rhino grab Havness, which is kind of interesting. Activate the Kit Kalos, special summon it out at the Tier Cash, and I draw into Rage. That's pretty decent. And then my opponent Drolls. Now, I get it. Maxi. But one of the benefits, one of the biggest benefits of playing Tearlament is you can just, like, search Soliak and pass, and that's really powerful. They could have searched Crime. They could have searched a myriad of things that do a lot and just kept the Droll, but instead they're like, nah, I'm a Droll myself. Okay, I mean, it does stop them. And then, I don't know if you caught it, there's a barrier statue in their graveyard. That's why they decided to Droll me. Okay. They're going to pitch the Havness to summon the Rhino Heart and grab it back at the Sheeran. Sheeran is going to utilize its effect to go for the Rukalos, and then they are going to link off into... out comes Sheeran, sending Maxi from hand to grave, which is something. And then they're going to activate the Redoer here, and or summon the Redoer, and out comes Barrier Statue. Well, this isn't great, especially with a Rukalos on the opponent's side of the field. Anyway, I'm going to normal summon the Gazelle, activate the Gazelle effect, send Spinny. There's not really much more that I can do. I'm going to try and walk into the Barrier Statue and then realize Rukalos has text. Because guess what? Other Aqua monsters... This is an Aqua. Other Aqua monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Cool. Well, I did draw Falco, so at the very least, I have potential if they break. Hopefully they bricked and don't have anything. I activate the Rage here. I'm going to send to the grave the Mole. Yeah, obviously I send the Mole. I'm going to pop the Rukalos because I have the Called By, so they're going to try to special summon, and I'm going to just Called By that and be like, no, let's not do that. They are going to get to walk over my field here, though, with the Redoer. Like, okay, well, not a whole lot that I can do about that. They're going to deal a whole bunch of damage, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then, I think they forget that this is two-sided, and not just one-sided. And they normal summon a Droll. Okay, I draw Imperm. I literally needed to draw this. So I immediately fire it, and I know what you're thinking. Why did we not fire it on the Barrier Statue? Because Redoer detaches for effect. Which means, with the Sheeran attached to them, they can fuse into a Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos can send something like a... Well, they can't send Haveness because they already have it, but they could potentially send something else. They could potentially search out a card, right? So it's not exactly great for me, and because of the Pearl Rhino, if they actually fuse, they get to pop a card, which I really don't want. So, of course, I negate the Redoer. I have Falco to just walk over the barrier statue. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Going to normal summon, walk over the barrier statue, and now I can play during main phase 2 completely uninterrupted. I'm going to special summon the Falco. Falco is then, special summon the Spinny. Falco is then going to go into the Balinks and then reset the Rage. We're going to go and activate the Sanctuary, which then goes to the graveyard for our original sins. We're going to grab the Snake Eyes Ash. Ash is going to grab Popular. We're going to go into, that's right, Hita. My opponent has a Fire in the Grave. Do you have a fire? It's time to make Promethean Princess. I send the, put the Gazelle into the Spell Trap Zone, and then, since that's a level 3, alongside my level 3 Spinny, that means we can make Mirage Stallion. Now, I am locked into fires, but who cares? So we're going to activate the Mirage Stallion, we're going to go for the Gazelle. Gazelle is going to send Rage, or Roar, sorry. And then we go into the Sunlight Wolf, and go into the second Sunlight Wolf, using the Mirage Stallion to spin away my opponent's monster. And now we can go for the Sunlight Wolf, grab back the Roar, and then utilize the other, the Gazelle with Ash in order to go into Flomberg. Flomberg is then going to put the Barrier Statue into the Spell and Trap Card Zone because it's funny. And now we can go for the Promethean Princess, activate the Flomberg to bring back 2 of our monsters, and then activate it, or activate the Promethean to go into our, or bring back the Flomberg so that we could potentially grab this guy on their turn and lock them under their own effect. And then I read Heatleo, and it doesn't target field spells. So now it's just going away. My opponent conceded there. I did have Rage and Roar, which is nice. Rage doesn't really do anything, but Roar does. And, yeah, good game. Alright, so now, here we are going first. Let's see what we can do with a pretty decent hand, I'm not gonna lie. Start off in the draw phase to add the Diabell Star. Again, play around the draw. We're going to add the Black Witch. We're going to send the Mole to the graveyard. I could have kept it, but I'm just going to send it to the graveyard. I'd rather have Foxy. We're going to set our Wanted, since we already have the original Sin. We're going to normal summon the Foxy. We're going to activate its effect, and we're going to reveal off the top a Gazelle. Hey, that's pretty good. So we're going to grab the Gazelle to our hand, and then we are going to link off into the Balinks. Hooray! We're going to activate our Gazelle here. We're going to special summon it, activate its effect in order to send Spinny, then activate the Spinny effect, bringing itself back. These are 2 level 3s, which means we can go into Mirage Stallion. Mirage Stallion activate its effect, and we are going to send to the graveyard, or summon out the Jack Jaguar. Jack Jaguar will then be utilized to go into the Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf will utilize, we're first going to go for the Jack Jaguar here, putting back the Mole, and now we can go for Promethean Princess, utilizing our Sunlight Wolf. We're then going to activate the Promethean effect in order to bring back the Sunlight Wolf, go into the Amblo Whale here, activate the original Sinful Spoils, which we hadn't done up until this point, grab Ash, and now we can go for the Ash. Ash grab Poplar, Poplar activate its effect, special summon itself. We can then shuffle back one of our, our original Sinful Spoils card in order to draw a card. I draw a Spinny, which is funny. We can then go into the Link Karibo, activate the effect of the Poplar, putting the Gazelle into the Spell and Trap card zone, and then do the same thing that we did previously, which we, but now we put the Gazelle into the Spell and Trap card zone for the previous, or for the next turn, and then we go into Heatsoul. Heatsoul draws into Roar, and I go, okay, I might want to actually utilize Roar here. So I actually just link off the Flomberg to bring back 2 materials. And here's where, like, it would have been nice to be able to go into, like, IP Masquerena or something like that, because I just have these 2 monsters that don't really do anything. But notably Poplar can grab the original Sinful Spoil, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to set Rage, Roar here and just kind of pass. I don't really have anything I can do with these 2, so I'm just like, okay, whatever. Harpy's Feather Duster is Harpy's Feather Duster, and I'm going to have to negate that. And then Raigeki, too. Wow, okay. Activate Poplar, put the, I'm gonna put the, Flomberg into the back row. Amblo Whale is gonna trigger, putting the Heat Soul back onto the field. And then my opponent activates Hold By, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, away goes my Amblo. Wait. I just chain here because it's funny. There's no reason for me to chain here. It doesn't matter. We're gonna add back the Diabell Star. But they're going to banish the Flomberg, which was just going to go into the Spell and Trap card zone, because my opponent doesn't know what my cards do. Smile. Anyway, out comes Heat Soul. We're going to see that my opponent is playing Cyberse and draw into Nibiru. Out comes Firewall Defensor, and I go, ah! Panic! And I activate the Promethean Princess button. So Promethean Princess is going to banish that guy. To the which, or sorry, destroy him. To the which my opponent will activate Degrade Buster. How many of you have seen this card? What? You banish 2 Cyberse monsters to special summon it. Then, you can target a monster your opponent controls with higher attack than this card and banish it until the end phase. What? Okay, goodbye. They're going to link off those 2 with the microcoder. Sorry, that with the microcoder to go into Code Talker and invert it. Activate the effect of the microcoder. Grab up Cynet Rollback. Hold on, let me read this to you. Target one of your banished Cyberse monsters. Special summon it. Why do Cyberse have so many of these cards? Stop! It's fine. Anyway, out comes Cyberse Rollback, and, well, that's an issue. Luckily, that was summon number 5. Nibiru comes down! Saved. Saved! From the Heat Soul draw. My opponent passes the turn, and we get Promethean Princess back. This is game, and my opponent realizes it. Yeah, fire's pretty good. Alright, here we are once again going second, and that's Maxi, Imperm, Circle Spinny. Okay, my opponent is going to reveal that they are on this deck, Sword Soul. They have the Ash because of course they do. So it's Imperm in a Dream, but luckily Imperm is fantastic. It's not fantastic against you. Yep, that's right, they're playing the chicken. I don't know why we're playing chicken, but we are, and it mattered because I had Imperm. Yeah, they're gonna go into the Chi-Xiao, and I'm like, okay, you can either get the Chi-Xiao search, or you could tribute it with this guy and not have the negate. You get one or the other, and they chose to get the search. Search Longwan, pitch Taya. My guy opened Moye, Taya, and search Longwan. And opened Chunyun. I guess they didn't technically open Moye and Longwan, but still, you get the point. They're going to burn me for 12 and then set a card, and I'm like, oh, no shot, you have Blackout too. That's crazy. Anyway, in the draw phase, I'm going to activate the circle. Keep this in mind. I activated this during the draw phase. Remember this, okay? I'm going to normal summon Falco, right? Go into Lingaribo. I'm like, that is a Blackout, and I know it. Anyway, special summon Gazelle. Let's put back the circle. They don't have a Maxi. Whew. If they had a Maxi, it was over. It was over for me. We're just done. We're cooked. Anyway, send the Jaguar. I'm going to then activate the effect of my Spinny and bring back Spinny. And now I'm going to link off 2 into Hita. Now I know what you're thinking. Why did we make Lingaribo here if we're going to link it off for Hita before they activate the Blackout? This was not activating. They had nothing that was activatable here. So I was like, okay, at this point, it's not Blackout. I don't know what it is, but it's not Blackout. Also, I don't know why we didn't just go Baron, but alas. Anyway, that was a Ash in their grave, so of course I'm going to make Mirage Dalio. Thanks for making my life easy. Now I got to go for the Sunlight Wolf here, linking away the Hita, which spins away their Changying. Now we get to go for the Jaguar, Sunlight Wolf, add back the Gazelle, link off into Balinks just to get that additional thing, grab up the Sanctuary. My opponent now drolls me. Remember how I activated Circle in the draw phase. Make sure you do this. This is a very important skill with quick effect searches. Playing around Droll, big thing. That was the only other search that I needed or even do, realistically, outside of the Snake Eye stuff, which I don't have access to, as you can see. So we're going to go and bring back the Sunlight Wolf. We're then going to link off in order to go into the Amblo Whale, and at this point we are well and truly in the lead, and my opponent concedes. So, good game. Alright, so here we are once again going first with a very different hand. No Snake Eyes. Let's see what we can do. So we're going to start off here with the Foxy. We're going to reveal off of the top. Mole. I'll take Mole. Mole does something here, at the very least. We're going to activate the Spinny here. We're going to pitch itself in order to bring itself back. And we are going to then go into our Mirage Stalio. Now, notably, this does play into Ash very poorly. So, oops. Oh, well. We're going to go for the Gazelle. Gazelle is going to send the Jaguar and then link off into Balinks. Here, we're going to activate the Balinks effect, searching out the Sanctuary so that we can utilize it later. Here, we can go into our Sunlight Wolf. Activate the Mole effect in order to special summon itself, and then use the Sunlight Wolf to grab Gazelle. Activate our field spell and link again into the Sunlight Wolf since, I don't know, I just decided to. I don't know why I did that, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, out comes Promethean Princess. We're gonna activate its effect in order to go for it. Oh, I know why I did that. So that we could get an extra material onto our side of the field for the Jack Jaguar, or not an extra material, to get a different link arrow than the one that the mole used, so that we can use the Jack Jaguar. That's why I did that. Anyway, out comes the Amblo Whale. And notably, we don't have this guy relinked, but that's okay because we can still send it to the graveyard with Rage, with the Gazelle here. My opponent's gonna go for the Call By on the Promethean Princess, and then activate Cosmic on the field spell. Don't know why they decided to do the field spell, but they did. So there's that. I don't know if they needed like the field spell to not be there or something. I don't know. That was interesting. But no Promethean Princess. Sad. My opponent's going to then activate the Quem. Imagine, if you will, if they had targeted one of my back row. Imagine. Anyway, it's fine. I just negate the Quem here. I'm not going to deal with that. Out comes Branded Fusion. I'm like, yeah, that one. Ash Blossom. My opponent passes. Cool. Cool. Well, activate the spinning effect, special summon it, normal summon the Gazelle, and at this point my opponent concedes. But yeah, I also drew Flomberg, because of course I do. And there you go. Good game. Alright, we're back with the deck, and honestly, this deck is pretty good, all things considered. It has the ability to really pop off, as you saw in that second game. Second game? Yeah. Where I basically just got to play uninterrupted and end on a really, really strong board. Well, even though my opponent was able to, like, crack it, I was still able to more or less put them in a chokehold and prevent them from really playing the game. And yeah, the Snake Eye stuff pairs very, very, very well with this deck. Being able to utilize the Snake Eye stuff to go into something like a Sunlight Wolf is very useful. Also, being able to go into Heatleo with them is very useful as well. Promethean Princess fits so nicely into this list as well. Just being able to utilize the Promethean Princess without having to go into Amblo Whale or anything like that is super nice. There's lots of stuff like that, lots of little incidental synergies and the like, and all in all, it is still a very, very fun deck to play with lots of different variety in terms of the non-engine that you can play. You don't have to play Imperm. If you find Imperm is not bad, or not good, you don't have to play it. You don't have to play Nibiru, you can play Droll, you could play, you could probably even go up to 42 if you wanted to. I felt like that wasn't worth it. And I know not playing Droll seems a bit weird right now in the current format, but I feel like for the most part, it's better for me to have Nibiru. I'd much rather have Nibiru than I would have Droll. I feel like Nibiru just does more and checks more than something like Droll does. So, there's that. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, likes very much so appreciated. And remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.